So how is that foot tasting?
It's probably a good thing that I ate it for a handful of reasons. Number one, fucking CD Cenobite is a thing.
Uh-huh.
I got to stop. I have to stop assuming that I know what this franchise is capable of.
That's, yeah, especially this early on.
Yeah, because we have been taken to some strange... Pinhead has shown us some strange places.
Yeah.
Now, I've eaten my foot because there is a CD Cenobite. The foot also I couldn't, for those of you who don't know, after a litany of back surgeries, I have permanent numbness in my left leg. So I opted to eat that foot because I can't feel it anyway.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's a perfect excuse for the next time I'm trying to talk to a pretty lady and I get really choked up and I go, oh, my foot's in my mouth. And then I like spread my cheeks open and I'm still eating that foot.
Yeah.
I wear a size 11. I got a lot of foot to chew.
Mm-hmm. But now you can get a cool peg leg.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, shit. Maybe I can get a peg leg that shoots CDs out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they make those. I'm sure you can get that at a horror con of some kind.
It's like, what do you do? Oh, we make fake Cenobite peg legs. It's like, that feels really niche. And they're like, yeah, we got the idea from some podcast. And we're like, oh, and they're like, yeah, it's called the Horror Returns. We're like, God damn it.
Those guys.
They got to us first.
But yeah, talking about, making some changes to your body?
Yeah, Pinhead shows us that it is possible to get a sexual thrill out of getting your head sliced into like a Manhattan-style grid with avenues and streets that are numbered. And Mom Donnie came up and he hammered the little pins in all of the cross sections. But they love it. They love to manipulate themselves. Fucking Deep Throat. She put a halo around her head that bolted to her neck and she cut her throat open and it made it look like a vagina.
Right.
Sometimes you just do crazy things. I think Butterball was just a fat guy with glasses. Oh, no, he stitched his eyes shut.
Yeah.
Okay,
and his stomach is like cut open as well. It's like slit open.
Truly disgusting.
Yeah.
But the Chatterer.
He's the best.
Is Chatterer or Chitterer?
Chatterer.
I figured.
We mispronounced it in one of these episodes, and then we went for that for like a whole while, and then we fixed it later. And
do you remember when you and I used to do housekeeping? It would be like, oh yeah, we made a mistake a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Guys, we simply don't care.
Yeah.
If we've made a mistake now and you catch it, keep it to yourself.
Or point it out, and then we might mention it.
Point it out with a tip.
Yeah.
Send us money and go, hey, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
You have to pay us to be right.
That's
we hit the big leagues. No, because there are journalists like the Tucker Carlsons that get paid a lot of money to just factually be incorrect on purpose.
Yeah.
I wish there was a word to describe being misleading, intentional. Oh, like a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I was watching the series and I saw all these, body modifications and stuff. And, I have a handful of tattoos. We've shown some of them on our Instagram. I have a handful of piercings. I am an alt kid to my heart. And so I have been on the fence for the greater part of 15 years. What's funny is I got my lip piercings on a lunch break.
Yeah.
At the Mac store that you and I worked at. And I said, hey, I'm going on lunch. And you're like, where are you going? And I was like, hey, I'm not getting food. And I just fucked off. And I went to the tattoo shop in the mall, got them pierced, came back, and you were like, dude, what the fuck? And I was like, what? You were like, why wouldn't you wait until like you were done? You have to come back and work. And I was like, well, the mall's getting close.
Yeah.
That was a good decision. I love my lip piercings. But so the one that I was on the fence of was either lip piercings or a septum piercing.
Right.
I like the way both of those look and I couldn't decide. Well, I'm 30 now. I'm 32. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do the other one. So we're watching Hellraiser. I finished watching Hellraiser 3 and I was, I enjoyed it. And then the next day I woke up and on a lark, I went to a tattoo shop that's right around the corner from our studio. And I got my septum pierced.
Yeah.
Tattoo shop is called Studio 54. Can't recommend it enough.
Cool.
They were great. But we have this phrase in my family and it's called Minette luck.
Okay.
And I'll explain Minette luck. If we go to the store, let's say you, Dylan, and I go to a store and you, Dylan, and I each purchase the exact same model of television.
Okay.
50-inch LG OLED TV. We each buy one.
Right.
Yours out of the box will work. Dylan's will work. Mine will not. There will be something wrong. The stand for it will not work. It won't be able to tune to the right channels. There will be an issue with a couple pixels, and I will have to take the extra step to go and replace it. That's my net luck to its core.
Gotcha.
If we go stay at a hotel, the room that we book, there's a problem. If somebody has a car that they need to use for a trip or something like that, it will break down. It is just, our family is cursed because we stole pigs and we're the yell nats from holes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You want to carry me up a mountain and sing?
I will do that, but I'm not going to do it as Shia LaBeouf because he's like a psycho now who yells at ladies in Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah.
But so when I got my septum pierced, the way that the tissue in my nose sits, not a Kleenex, but like the physical nose sits, the first piercing went through fine, perfectly straight across, but it sat on my nose crooked because it sat a little further on the left-hand side. So not only was there a weird pressure, but I mean, it looked bad. And she was like, I'm going to be honest with you, it's very crooked. I was like, fuck. Okay. She's like, well, we can fix it. The way we have to fix it, we have to do it again, deeper and higher up. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. So I had to get my septum pierced twice. Now she was a consummate professional.
Yeah.
Talked to me the whole time, explained every step of the way. Really cleaned everything. I felt very confident with her, and we're a couple days in, the aftercare has been great. But at the time, it was like, that is my net luck distilled to its purest form. I want to get a septum piercing. People have been doing that since the dawn of civilization. That is a piercing that has lasted throughout human history.
Yeah.
But if I get it done, I got to get it done twice, which makes you think, if I was some weird sex monster who was covered in whatever, it's like, could you imagine I'm getting chenarded and I'm getting like worm headed, and they put the thing on, and immediately the Minette Lucky would just, like, at the end of Hellraiser, the giant worm would just tear my head off immediately. And then they'd be like, oh, fuck, hold on. And they'd staple my head back together. And then they'd do it again. And they'd be like, well, now you're staple head. Like, I don't want to be staple.
Is that the best you can come up with?
Yeah, and they're like, that's my Cenobite luck.
Oh my God.
Hello and welcome to the Third Channel Podcast,
where we delve into the horror franchises you love from the perspectives of a lifelong horror fan
and a newbie to the genre. I'm PJ.
And I'm Derek.
And today, the only thing we're here to talk about is horror. Today's horror. I'm so excited. And I'll explain why.
Yeah, please do.
We've had this in a handful of episodes of this show, this beloved show, loved by millions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Millions of you and me and all of our clones and my dog. Yeah. Buddy loves this show, and he's the Thing. He's the dog from the Thing. He just hasn't assimilated us yet because he likes being a dog more than he wants to take over the world, because he gets belly scratches and free food whenever he wants it. Now, having said all that, this is important. You and I have had many episodes of this show wherein, and it happened very recently, you and I watched this movie separately.
Right.
We saw it the first time together, but we have not watched it together, because typically if we watch a movie together, we kind of softly review it to each other.
Right. We give little back and forth comments.
I do like this. I don't like this. I like the lighting. I hate the fucking lighting. You know, we give a commentary.
Right.
But when we don't watch it, we start these episodes and I have no idea where you fall on the hot or cold scale of what you think of these movies. And yours are usually more down the middle. So I feel like you probably feel the same way, but it's like, oh God, to what extreme is this diagnosed bipolar, maniac gonna choose? I'm not saying people with bipolar disorder are maniacs. I am one of them, and I think I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do stabbings.
Yeah. You're cool.
Do you remember the first episodes of this show? Like the first 3 episodes where the bit was that I wasn't a murderer?
Yeah.
Guys, I was.
A murderer?
Yeah. I'm looking at my next victim right now, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like I am. I mean, it's just the difference in perspective, I guess. I am more like positive and lenient on things a lot of times because I've seen so much and I've seen so much bad that like whenever things are just like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Another factor to this is I think that generally you don't mind a rewatch. I think that you don't hate rewatching movies.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but it's not a process that I love. It's necessary because I've forgotten so much about these movies, but it's like I'm sitting down to watch this movie. I already, the whole premise of this show is that I usually didn't watch movies. So here I am doing it again, but for a movie I already have seen and to my recollection did not care for. But this, I don't know where you fall in this movie, but I'm going to tear this Band-Aid off immediately because we were talking. Oh yeah, shit. Oh, yeah. By the way,
what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's the title of the episode. We always do that, like they are going to be surprised, but they click the episode name. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, a film I did not know how to subtitle.
Yeah,
I just thought it was Hellraiser 3. But having said that, when I first logged this movie into Letterboxd, I gave it 2.5 stars.
Okay.
It went up a whole star for me.
Wow. Good for Hellraiser 3.
I dig this movie.
Hell on Earth.
And I'm going to get way out in front of this. It's bad. There's almost no good in it. But it all, to the caliber that it achieves, it all works.
Yeah.
And it's so creative and it's so ambitious. And like, I don't like it as a movie, but as like an experience and like a thesis for what bad movies could be. I love this movie. I had so much fun watching it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think it's got a lot of big ideas.
Big ideas, low production value. I watched the unrated cut wherein the stuff that they add, none of it was rendered, none of it was finalized. It looks like the quality of the movie goes from shot on film to shot on some guy's handy cam back to film. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, how did that get past editing? That looks terrible. And I was like, oh, it's the unrated version.
Yep. Okay. It is, and it's only a few scenes. There maybe is 6 scenes that dropped in like that.
It's probably a total of a minute worth of that footage.
Oh, yeah. Because it's just kind of like an additional shot, when she's going into the club, or
it's like she's in the club, and then the additional footage will be like it will pan up to people like in chains or in bondage of some sort.
Yeah,
because the MPA is like, well, you can't advocate for wrapping up people in leather and chains. Personally, as I sit here in front of you, my new septum ring, as I wear a whole leather gimp suit and I'm surrounded by chains, I do advocate for that.
Yeah.
Guys, the Third Channel Podcast wants you to wrap your partner with consent in leather and chains and then send us photos and we'll put them on our website.
Please. We'll definitely do that.
Whenever we have a website.
Yes.
Which we were going to do a year ago.
We'll do it.
One day, folks.
It's going to happen.
It's sooner than you think.
Yeah.
Because you think never. But yeah, I fucking dig this movie. What do you think?
I also dig this movie.
Good. I'm glad.
I think it is because I think I give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah, I think it definitely is a step down from the first 2.
Definitely.
It is definitely a step away from what Clive Barker built up with those first 2 movies.
This is like, it felt like if Paul Verhoeven directed a Hellraiser. It feels like RoboCop.
See, to me, it's like this is the most one. It's and let's just take it with because I think we used to do this with certain franchises when you got to take them one at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it's like this one is of the 3 that we've seen, obviously, so far. This one's the most slashery. And it's
definitely
also the way that the shots are done, the use of angles and snap zooms and weird cinematography and things like that, and some of the effects and things, the zaniness of it at times. It's the closest to a Sam Raimi flick that we've seen in a while.
It is. It's based on what the cultural horror zeitgeist is and required at the time that this movie was coming out.
Yeah.
It is the most traditional horror film of the three Hellraisers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it feels like this is the fake Hellraiser movie that plays in the background of a parody film. It's like, is it Pinhead?
Why is he in like a pillar?
Why is
like
he,
a stone pillar?
Why is he doing like a weird head bobby Jesus pose in a church? It's all crazy. And the caliber, and this is what I kind of meant why, like, of what a bad movie can be. The caliber of everything. The caliber of the score is awful. It sounds like video game music. It's terrible. The lighting and the quality of the shots is immediately cheapened. Mm-hmm. It goes from feeling like somebody with a vision creating art to somebody creating a commercial.
Yeah.
It's shot like a Capri Sun commercial. The acting is such a step down.
Yeah.
They get all of these fucking day player character actors. None of them are good. It's like the only things that stay the same, they have really like interesting effects makeup, especially with Pinhead, and like some of the things that happen in the film that are special effects driven are still very good. Yeah. And then fucking Doug Bradley makes this movie. Dude.
Oh, absolutely. The fact that he's getting to basically play dual roles is awesome.
And I love the idea of that. Mm-hmm. And I also love that Doug Bradley is just like, hey, we made the first movie and you were the most interesting part of it. And people really connected with the character and like the visuals of it.
Yeah.
So we're going to make you a bit heavier in the second film. And then it's like, oh, people really didn't care for like the separation of human Pinhead versus Pinhead, but they still really like you. And so whoever writes the third movie is like, we're going to make you the fucking star.
Yeah.
You are Freddy Krueger. You're in the movie the whole time. And he's standing there and he's got chains and shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I absolutely adored his performance in the film Hellraiser 3, Oscopy, Hell on Earth. What started in hell will end on Earth. Pinhead is set loose on the sinful streets of New York City to create chaos with a fresh cadre of Cenobitic kin. Cenobitic.
Is that a word?
Cenobitic. Cenobitic kin.
I mean, you keep saying it, but like, what does Cenobite mean?
Oh, that's a good fun fact. Cenobite means a member of a monastic order.
Oh, that's right.
So I think Cenobitic would be of being a Cenobite. Uh-huh. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like that.
Order of the Gash.
That is
according to Clive himself.
Yeah.
The big man, Clive Barker.
Yeah. This does get a Clive Barker presents.
Yes.
Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. But that came around at kind of the last minute. I'll explain in a bit.
Is it kind of like a Halloween 2 situation?
He just wasn't happy with some things and then eventually came around to it.
Sure. And all the things that we're kind of prefacing, those take place in what's the name of the film?
Oh, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which of course was released in, first it was released at a film festival.
Oh, thank God.
May of 1992.
Okay. What's the name of the film?
Oh, you're going to love this.
Okay.
You've already mentioned him once.
Uh-oh.
It came out at a film festival in Milan called the Dylan Dog Horror Fest.
Dylan Dog Horror Fest?
Yeah.
I literally have nothing to make fun of that.
No.
Dylan. Hey, Dylan. You're a dog, Dylan. You're a goddamn dog.
Yeah, I think Dylan Dog is a comic, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah,
I thought a Dylan Dog was maybe like if Dylan eats a hot dog with a big pickle on it.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it from here on out.
Yeah.
But then it was released in theaters in the U.S. on September 11th of 1992.
Oh, thank God. Never forget 9/11.
Yeah.
When Hellraiser 3 came out.
Yeah. The towers were still standing. The film takes place in New York.
I was watching a movie with someone today, and it was the New York skyline. And I leaned over and I was like, where are the towers? She's like, what? I was like, where are the Twin Towers? She was like, well, this movie came out like 2007. And I was like, right? She was like, well, it's past 2001. And I'm straight faced the whole time. I was like, well, what happened in 2001? And she's just like, shut the fuck up.
You said you'd never forget.
Never forget what?
Well, you'll never forget that, Anthony Hickox is who directed Hellraiser 3. Hell on Earth.
What did Anthony Hickox do outside of this?
I'll get to that in a minute. It's written by Peter Atkins again and Tony Randall. It's produced by Lawrence Mortorf. The cinematography is done by Jerry Lively, who had done work on Waxwork and Waxwork 2, a vampire flick from 1990 called Pale Blood, Warlock 2, Return of the Living Dead 3. He also did the cinematography for the comedy from 1995, Friday, starring Ice Cube and Chris Tucker, as well as Children of the Corn 3. And then he returns for Hellraiser Bloodline. He also shot the music video for Motorhead's Hellraiser.
Oh.
So, which was made for this movie, basically.
That's pretty cool.
The editor is Christopher Sabelli, who had done the editing on Waxwork 1 and 2, Sundown, The Vampire Retreat, Warlock 2, The Hidden 2, Children of the Corn 4, and The Prophecy 2. The other editor, James D.R. Hickox, had also worked on Waxwork 1 and 2, Warlock 2, Deadly Exposure, and the Hellraiser music video for Motorhead. The budget for this film is $5 million, so right in the middle of what they spent on Hellraiser 2.
Okay.
And it brought home basically a little more than Hellraiser 2 at $12.5 million.
Damn.
I believe this is the highest grossing of the Hellraiser films in theaters.
Wow.
But only 4 of them went to theaters. So
yeah, fair enough.
Unless I'm completely wrong.
Wait a minute. But there's like 13 of these.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the majority of these by a lot were straight to video or streaming?
Yeah.
I'm not very excited.
Oh, no. I think this is the second highest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Hellraiser made 30.
Honestly, good.
Yeah.
Good for Hellraiser.
Director Anthony Hickox had directed Waxwork in 1988. It's a horror comedy. Sundown, The Vampire Retreat, also a horror comedy. Waxwork 2 in 1992. And then after this, he would do Warlock 2, The Armageddon, Full Eclipse, which is a TV sci-fi horror series, or film, rather. And then the adventure film Prince Valiant from 1997, as well as directing Motorhead's Hellraiser music video. The screenplay and story were written by Peter Atkins, who had also written Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, Fist of the North Star. He comes back for Hellraiser Bloodline, and he wrote Wishmaster in 1997. And then the other person who wrote the story was Tony Randall, who also did uncredited writing on Godzilla 1985, Children of the Night, a vampire movie from 1991, Fist of the North Star, the Motorhead Hellraiser video, and then he was the director of Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Producer Lawrence Mortorf also produced Children of the Corn 2 in 1992, Deadly Exposure, a thriller from 1993. And then he had a stretch of like 90s family movies.
Okay.
You've probably seen or heard of these.
Okay.
So there's Andre in 1994, which was like a seal adventure movie, kind of like a Babe or a Free Willy or a Flipper, but with a seal.
I have not heard of that.
He did. Wait, no, but it's probably because you were born in 94.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why.
Okay.
The Jungle Book, the live action film from 1994.
Oh, weird. Okay.
The Adventures of Pinocchio, the 1996 live action version where Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the like voice of Pinocchio.
Oh God.
And then not in that same thing there, he also was the producer on The Omega Code in 1999, as well as, we're bringing it back, guys, Megadoo, The Omega Code 2 in 2001, which was directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, who directed Leprechaun 3 and 4.
No, Megadoo.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a bit like Brigadoon.
Yeah.
What is Brigadoon about?
I have no idea.
You still haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Dylan hasn't seen it either.
Yeah.
What about Barry Sonnenfeld's Schmigadoon?
I haven't seen it.
Guys, leave a comment if you know what Brigadoon or Schmigadoon are about.
Yeah.
Or what is it? Megadoon?
Yeah, Megadoo.
Megadoo.
Yeah.
Like Hollywood.
Exactly.
Hollywood.
Okay. You're going off for a bit there.
Yeah.
I the craziest connection I've maybe ever found.
Oh, God.
This producer, Lawrence Mortorf.
Yeah, with an awesome last name.
He was the producer on something called Carman, the Champion.
Get the fuck out of
It's
here.
from 2001, and it stars Carman from Carman, the Standard, which is the Christian music video tape that they've reviewed on Best of the Worst.
Yeah, wherein he sings lyrics like kids would rather come out of the closet than use like stuff inside to clean up or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Carman apparently did other movies, did other things, because The Champion is about him being like a boxer who, I don't know, regains his faith through fighting.
This sounds to me like whatever this movie that the guy who played Kang is working on with Ben Shapiro.
Oh,
you know that's going to be a hit.
Oh, it's going to be great. People are going to be falling out of windows to see it.
I was going to say it's going to be a hit like he does to his girlfriends.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what guys do. When they get caught being either a molester or a wife beater, they go, you know what I love? I love the president. I'm going to do right-wing stuff now.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying if the shoe fits. I'm saying if the handprint you've left on a battered woman fits your hand, then you probably love the president.
Yeah.
And you don't care about the list.
No.
Not at all.
You had some not good things to say about the music in this film. The music is done by Randy Miller, who had done the music for Witchcraft, a Rob Spera 1988 flick. Rob Spera had directed Leprechaun in the Hood. He did the music for Witchery, another 88 horror film, a horror anthology from 1990 called The Willies. Mantis, the sci-fi superhero series, Darkman 2 and 3, and then he did music for a few episodes of The Outer Limits, the anthology series.
There are sequels to Darkman?
Yeah, they're not directed by Raimi.
Because I love that movie. Darkman, I love that movie. I did not know there were sequels.
Yeah. There are two, I believe, direct-to-video sequels.
I bet they're awful. And I bet Liam Neeson is not in either of those.
I don't believe so.
He was too busy being Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. Qui-Gon Booze.
Quiggin Ginny.
So Roger Corman's New World Pictures and Film Futures, which was a production company that was owned by Clive Barker and Christopher Figg, who was the producer on the first Hellraiser movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hellraiser really pushed him into the film world.
Oh, yeah, it did.
That's awesome. Except for the Midnight Meat Train, but we're not going to talk about that ever, so that's fine.
And it's short-lived, unfortunately, with the rest of this sentence. They held meetings about a third Hellraiser film before Hellbound was actually released. So much like they were talking about Hellraiser 2 before Hellraiser was out, they did the same thing. They were like, this is going to be a hit. We're going to continue this. Clive Barker had originally intended for Hellraiser sequels to focus on Claire Higgins' character, Julia Cotton, but Higgins declined to reprise her role in a third film, and so her character was then killed off in the later drafts of Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. And then due to 20th Century Fox demanding extensive cuts, and then following that up by a very misleading marketing campaign promoting this movie as a slasher, not Hellraiser, but Clive Barker's latest film at the time, Nightbreed, that mismanagement there meant that it underperformed at the box office, and that caused Film Futures to go out of business.
Oh.
So, yeah, they were very, very short-lived.
Clive Barker.
Which then with New World's also bankruptcy issues that it was going through at the time.
Right.
Hellraiser 3 went into development hell. And so former New World executives, including Lawrence Cuppen, established Transatlantic Pictures, and they were able to get the rights transferred to them.
Okay.
Following disagreements with Transatlantic, Clive Barker had no official involvement in this project until much later during post-production. He has said that the studio balked at his initial fee to work on the movie.
Okay.
So when it comes to the writing, Tony Randall, who directed Hellbound, he co-wrote the story with Peter Atkins. Atkins had completed the first draft of the screenplay in 1991. Many of the major elements still remain unchanged from that shooting script, but what they call the Barbie and the CD Cenobites did not exist.
Okay.
The Barbie is the bartender who shoots fire.
Oh, with the shaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Subsequent rewrites introduced those Cenobites as well as Pinhead's deception as Joey's father and brought in a happier ending. And the setting was made for the first time unambiguously American instead of mixing Britain and American things in the previous two movies.
Yeah, it separates it from the original two in a way that I don't love. The first two feel out of time, out of space.
Yes.
This one feels very much like a Joel Schumacher Batman movie.
Yeah, it is early 90s, quote unquote, New York.
Yeah.
Tony Randall was attached to direct originally, but the producers removed him after they became worried that his vision for the film was going to be too bleak, which he kind of talked about with Hellbound of like, it's kind of where his mind was at the time.
Yeah.
So Anthony Hickox was then replaced or brought in to replace Randall, I should say, through a mutual friend whom Hickox had cast in Waxwork 2. He suggested him. Clive Barker disliked Hickox's prior work, believing him a poor fit for the Hellraiser series because most of Hickox's previous work to this were horror comedy films. And so whenever they first met, Clive Barker was like, you know, I need you to take this seriously. And he argued to, you know, he needed to use the first two films as a guide to get the tone correct.
Sure.
Most of the crew were new to this series. Anthony Hickox brought many of the crew members from his previous films, including cinematographer Jerry Lively from Waxwork 2, Bob Keane, who did the special effects with the company Image Animation. He was one of the few returning crew members from the previous Hellraiser film, so he's done the effects on the first three.
Makes sense.
He had also previously worked on Nightbreed and the Waxwork film, so he you know was kind of in the family anyway. Gary J. Tunnicliffe. He had become a writer he later becomes a writer and director on this series, in the Hellraiser series. But he joined the film's makeup crew and then created the Lament configuration boxes for this film.
Okay.
This was the first film in the series shot in the United States. Ashley Lawrence's scene was shot separately prior to the rest of the film, so they shot that first. Okay, where would you think? Because we've had movies that take place that we've talked about that take place in New York.
Yeah,
and they typically shoot elsewhere other than a few scenes. What is it? Toronto
takes Manhattan.
Right.
Yeah.
Where would you think they used to double New York in this film?
Oh God. Immediately I thought it was a soundstage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, a lot of it is. The bar and that whole setup is like in a not a soundstage necessarily. I mean, parts of it are, but part of it is like in a.
But like, is there like running down the streets?
Yeah, like the outside shots and things like that.
I don't know. Is it Toronto?
No. That doubles in a lot of movies. That seems to be the go-to. Principal photography began in late 1991 in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that's what they used to stand in for New York City in the few shots that they needed it.
Good work, Greensboro. You did it.
The opening shot of like the car pulling up outside of the antique shop or the art gallery or whatever it is that he goes into, that is like just the building and the street. Everything else is like a matte painting done on glass to do the whole city skyline.
Interesting. I love me a matte painting.
Yeah. Transatlantic gave Hickox 6 weeks to shoot the film. He had previously established a very fast shooting schedule that used long hours, like per day, but that meant that the cast had to adjust to his kind of unorthodox style and the studio demands. Hickox basically worked under a preference for in-camera editing, which is something that sped up the production but limited the actor's view of the like how the completed film would work. So like in-camera editing is basically just shooting in sequence as much as possible and only shooting the things that you absolutely know that you need.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it relies a lot on like storyboards. You have to do storyboards for everything and kind of have an idea. The director has to have a very, good idea of what he wants it to look
definitely.
like. But that's in, the opposite of how films are normally shot, where you shoot with a lot of coverage of like, if just you and I having a conversation is like, we would shoot the whole scene with a camera over there looking at both of us wide. And then we would set up another camera and do all of your lines from this angle. Then we'd set up a camera over by you looking at me. We'd do all of my lines looking from this angle. And then we would shoot some other tight shots and things like that and cutaways and then cut all that together. But you'd have all of that to play with. This is like, no, we go in and we get just these 2 lines from you. And then we move the camera and we do a different setup.
Well, yeah, fly by the seat of their 5 million pants.
Yeah. Unlike the previous Hellraiser films, the stages were all very close to each other and they shared a single soundstage. And so it made simultaneously shooting different shots with multiple crews very difficult. Doug Bradley has said that he did enjoy the production and working with the director Hickox, but he did experience a lot of discomfort in some of his scenes. Early on, having to act from within the Pillar of Souls prop, which was very uncomfortable. It restricted his acting to just his face and voice. He has said that the makeup from this film is his least favorite. They had changed how the Pinhead makeup was applied, which made it easier to put on and take off, but it kind of made it more uncomfortable to wear. But he did get an optician who who made him like the sclera lenses that he needed,
right?
But in his prescription, so he could wear them for much longer.
Oh, that's cool.
The biggest issue that they kind of ran into with this production was the black mass scene. It caused a lot of controversy in the socially conservative North Carolina. Hickox was not allowed to shoot in a real church. He was refused any sort of permission from any churches that he asked in the area. So instead, he used another matte painting as the background to the altar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would never have known.
I know. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And then when crew complained about the sacrilege of everything, he basically told them that it was no different from the countless Hammer films where Christopher Lee as Dracula rampaged through churches. So, and to get over it.
Yeah, why didn't he just say your God's not real and vanish in a puff of smoke? He's like, I can prove your God's not real. Go downstairs. And they all go downstairs at this matte painting church. And there's a giant tube of green liquid, green piss.
And it pisses into people's mouths.
And they're like, God's not real. I'm the devil now.
And then Alice Cooper shows up. Miramax became very interested in distributing this film in the U.S. But then what happened next, I guess, in this is kind of contentious. According to Hickox, the director, Bob Weinstein loved the rough cut that he saw, and so he offered them more money for additional effects work and to redo the ending. This led to early use of CGI and to add several gory scenes. Barker disputes this whole thing, saying that Cuppen had showed him a work print, but he was unimpressed by it. So he declined even an executive producer credit on this film, criticizing the film's ending, the low budget effects work that was done in it. So then after Miramax became involved, Barker said that Weinstein had asked for his honest evaluation of the film. And so Barker reiterated all of that criticisms. And then at Weinstein's urging came in to fix the film. So according to Clive Barker, he was the one responsible for Pharrell's bondage scene toward the end, additional scenes of extended gore in the nightclub massacre, and the CGI when Lee's character Sandy is skinned. Of course, regardless of the extent of what Barker's involvement in the post-production actually was, it was now enough for him to at least accept an executive producer credit, and the film was given that Clive Barker Presents banner. And then he did promote it as well during his promotion for Candyman.
That's got to be so strange. Clive Barker presents something he fucking hates.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Oh, maybe it's like a sadomasochism thing. He's getting off at how bad he hates this movie, but how much he has to pretend that he loves it. Maybe eventually he starts loving it because it's just too good.
Jesus Christ.
Not quite. What did you see? The same as I. Appetite sated, desire indulged, a miniature of the world, and how it will succumb to us. You enjoyed the girl.
Yes.
Good. So so did I. And that's all.
No, it's not the same. No, what you did, that was fucking evil, man.
Oh, how uncomfortable that word must feel on your lips. Evil, good. There is no good, Monroe. There is no evil. There is only flesh. The patterns to which we submitted.
Pinhead's all about, pain and flesh. And one thing I will say is that's kind of misogynistic of Pinhead.
Uh-huh.
He's like, did you enjoy her? Because I did too. And it's like, she was a person, man.
Yeah.
She was stupid, but she was a person. Yeah. Stupid people don't deserve to be eaten by Cenobites.
Okay.
They deserve to do hilarious things like accidentally run off a cliff or sink into quicksand.
Yeah. Swallow, a gold coin.
Yeah, speaking of swallowing, I'm going to get way out in front of this. I haven't eaten today. We're recording this very late. So I'm going to try my absolute measured best to quietly eat spicy food off of mic.
Yeah.
So that I can wake up a little bit and enjoy a full stomach filled with capsaicin. So if you hear kind of that.
Yeah.
Or like maybe me, I go like nom 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 or something.
Yeah. He eats like that. So
yeah.
Nom. This movie starts with we don't know it at the time, but that guy who was just in the clip, he steps out of a car in New York City.
My least favorite character in any movie we've ever seen.
Wow.
Is Monroe.
And he goes into the Pyramid Art Gallery where he finds a stone pillar that is entwined with a bunch of human figures, including our good friend Pinhead and the Lament Configuration puzzle box.
Now, is this supposed to be like a captured in stone version of the pillar that's at the end of Hellbound?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Now it does not look the same.
No.
But that is, I believe, where it kind of comes in, is the continuation from there. Now, as to how it got from that Chenard's house to this art gallery, who knows? We do not know how long after the first two films this takes place. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it is. Then we have not the same derelict homeless guy, but one just the same, offers it to this JP Monroe fella for whatever he thinks it's worth. And
he goes, what do you desire? It's always been yours. And Monroe's like, well, I'm from New York, so I want that, and I want the flattest, whitest slice of pizza you ever seen in your life with so much grease on it that you could drain that into a glass.
Yeah, he does say that.
And so then the guy's like, well, this pillar and this pizza slice were always yours, which is a 1-for-1 replica of the joke we made for Hellraiser.
Right. If you somehow, passed up Hellraiser to listen to Hellraiser 3.
Why?
I don't know.
Honestly, if you fit this category that you started here.
Yeah. If you're a 1%er right now,
please comment why you started here. Because I'm dying to know.
Maybe they just jump in with whatever the latest one is.
By the way, this ramen, incredibly spicy.
Very spicy.
Yeah, it hurts to the point where I'm sort of feeling like a Cenobite. I'm the ramen Cenobite.
Oh,
yeah. It's like, how Chenard had like worms coming out of his hands. For me, it's like packets of sauce and whatever.
Yeah. Anybody, who's got any sort of artistic ability out there, we'd love to see some drawings of us as Cenobites. Oh, give us a Ross Bacon and a Beans Morocco Cenobite.
What would your Cenobite thing be?
I don't know.
Probably movies.
Yeah, but it's like I mean, we get examples that I could borrow from in this movie, obviously, because we have one with like a camera in his head.
Oh God!
And we have one with the CDs.
I would be the cigarette one.
Yes.
God damn it! I don't want to be the cigarette one, but I would be.
Do you want? Yeah, you'd have to be.
All right, guys, somebody draw me as a cigarette Cenobite.
What if you were like Pinhead, but instead of pins, they were all lit cigarettes?
Honestly, that's pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Or like, because of my septum ring, eventually what I'll be able to do is I can put a cigarette through the septum ring, light it, and just have it sitting next to my mouth, and the septum ring will hold it so I can smoke hands free. I'm here for a good time.
That's what you did it for.
Yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, folks.
Yeah, obviously. This is actually a cameo by producer Lawrence Mortorf, is the homeless guy here in this art gallery.
Very cool.
There's a lot of little cameos like that. I'll kind of point them out as I can. We're then introduced to our lead here. We're at a hospital. There is a young, ambitious television news reporter named Joey Summerskill. She is basically experiencing, like, she's not happy with where she is in her career, and she's wanting actual stories and things to happen.
She has like kind of been assigned by the news studio to be like an ambulance chaser.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's going to be a lot of bodies here. Go there.
But then if there's like a more important thing going on, then they send like
somebody else, like a real anchor. Right. She hates it, which I get. Mm-hmm. Joey is, well, if you want to go over acting credits.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Joey Summerskill is played by Terry Farrell. She was in the Rodney Dangerfield comedy from '86 called Back to School. It's one where he goes back to college, I believe, and does like a flip off of a diving board.
When he's in college, and this is a serious question, does he get any respect?
None at all.
Oh, that poor guy.
No respect at all.
Buggiest eyes on the planet Earth.
She is also in Bonfire of the Vanities, a 1990 Brian De Palma film.
Okay.
She's probably most famous for being in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. She did 148 episodes as Jadzia Dax. She was in Deep Core, a sci-fi thriller from 2000, starred with Craig Sheffer, who is in Nightbreed and Hellraiser Inferno. So we'll talk about him here again shortly. And then she's also in Becker, 94 episodes of the Ted Danson sitcom.
Wow. Okay, Becker. I love Ted Danson so fucking much.
Same.
Okay, Joey is a well-written character. Her motivation is easy to understand. She feels real. She feels like a real person who's conflicted about what to do next in life, and is quick to make friends with troubled youth, and means well and cares about her friends and people. And because of the actress who portrays her, she comes off as stupid and obnoxious the whole movie. She's my least favorite part. It is the thing where, like, when the Cenobites are walking through the streets to kill her, I'm like, get her! Like, yeah, because she's not that bad. I'm mostly trying to be entertaining. She is not as good as Kirsty.
Right.
Not even close. Yeah. And so because Kirsty is a good main, like, final girl.
Yeah,
she's great. And so you do compare that a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you have two key examples of it to, you're trying to follow that up, it's difficult to do.
I do like the fact that, because it is very slashery, that your main character is like a hard-hitting journalist that's going to seek the answer. Because this all would have flown under the radar, but she needed to seek it out.
Yes.
So, and I like that storytelling device.
Yeah, and that's true, because it's like she's looking for like a real story, and it kind of drops into her lap.
Yeah.
As like this, right as she's going to leave, because she's there with her cameraman, her photographer,
whom she calls Doc.
Yeah, Daniel Doc Fisher is played by Ken Carpenter. He was in Phantom of the Paradise, as 1974 Brian De Palma film.
Okay.
He is in Elves, which is the 1989 Christmas horror film starring Dan Haggerty. It was featured on Best of the Worst, where Dan Haggerty is after a bunch of like Nazi-controlled elves.
Yeah, and he eats a bunch of soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see this movie. He was also in Tammy and the T-Rex in 1994.
Okay. Is he in any episodes of whatever, Saved by the Bell or whatever, that Nev Campbell sitcom?
Oh, Party of Five?
Was starring Nev Campbell?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I would have pointed it out if he was.
Because Tammy and the T-Rex pops up a lot, too.
Any chance I get.
I know.
If we ever... if we ever get to talking about... what is the name of that movie? It's not Jeepers Creepers. It's the other one.
As you think about this, what I will tell the audience is, guys, if you could hear some of the meta fucking jokes that Derek pitches, his comedy is infinitely more advanced than your receptors. He's light years ahead of you as far as comedy. He's thought about jokes to make for 5 years from now.
You don't do that?
The guy's constantly spinning plates.
It's a horror movie, or it's like a thriller with Paul Walker, and they're on a CB radio, and then they get chased by a guy in a semi truck. I can't think of what the name of the movie is, but if we ever get to talking about that, we'll talk about Paul Walker, and then I'll reference back to Tammy and the T-Rex.
Okay.
Or we could just talk about Tammy and the T-Rex.
The only thing we're here to talk about is horror. So today we're talking about Tammy and the T-Rex, apparently.
So Paul Walker's in it. And there is a T-Rex.
And I'll tell you all about it when I Tammy and T-Rex. Because of Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
He passed away.
I like it. I know where I was whenever. Never mind. We'll move past it.
I like the way that this is shot. It's very otherworldly. It is too disgusting to be a real functioning hospital.
Right.
And it's all shot, like the whole thing is shot from like really low angles, shot upwards. Mm-hmm. I love that this corpse that's being brought in, all the chains that are dragging, and like one of them catches and cuts her for a moment. And it's just like, it immediately begins of like, oh yeah, this is surreal as shit.
Yes.
And I
absolutely.
like that a lot.
This is also like the way that the close-ups work, the way that the camera angles are, the whole like them rushing him into this operating table.
Yeah.
It makes me think of the Sam Raimi, the Spider-Man 2 hospital scene with Doc Ock's arms.
You mean the best film ever made?
Yeah, the greatest horror short ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much that. It's like reaction shots of the the chains being ripped and moved around, and then the doctors and eventually like lightning starts shooting out, and then his face explodes.
Yeah.
And she witnesses all this. Like Joey witnesses that. And she talks to this young woman named Terry, who had come in with this club goer who had all the hooks in him. And Terry tells her that it happened at the Boiler Room, which is a nightclub in New York.
Big poppin' place.
Yeah.
Everybody's really excited about it.
So like the next day, Joey goes to that club to find Terry to get more information. She meets JP Monroe, who is the womanizing owner of the nightclub. He is the one who bought the pillar in the beginning, the opening scene. We get a cameo by writer Peter Atkin as Rick the barman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monroe is like
the worst.
Yeah, it's like somehow he is very wealthy. It's kind of unexplained.
So there is a part, actually it's right after our clip that we played. Pinhead, I guess, can see into you.
Yeah.
And so
the general
he like pulls a gun on Pinhead in that moment, and Pinhead is like, that's the gun you used on your parents. So JP has like, I guess, killed his parents
for like a trust fund,
I assume, and has their wealth.
Well, so he reminds me so much of like, do you remember that guy Martin Shkreli, whatever his name was, the pharma bro, who like raised the price of insulin by like 2,000% and was like bragging about it. That's what Monroe reminds me of. A very wealthy, just scumbag,
right? Yeah,
who's like intentionally unlikable. Mm-hmm. And the performance is way over the top. He's like a facial expression actor. It's all over the place. It's way over the top, but I honestly like it. Yeah. Like I think it works to be like an over sensationalized human villain element. I like it.
Yes. It is very over the top. And like some of that, I don't know later on is if he's supposed to be trying to play up like he's being corrupted by Pinhead.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
But yeah, it is like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Joey leaves out, like basically like leaves her card with JP, and she leaves. She has the first of many reoccurring nightmares about how she presumes that her father was left for dead in Vietnam. There's a cameo in this scene of by director Anthony Hickox as one of the soldiers who gets shot.
Oh no.
But this is a scene we kind of get a couple times throughout this, and we flesh it out a little more every time. But yeah, basically she never met her father. He died in Vietnam, but she doesn't know how it happened, but she has like these dreams about what it could have been.
She says at one point it's probably a splosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, he probably exploded.
Yeah, he probably like just exploded or something.
And Doc is like, exploded? She's like, yeah, like a sticky bomb, like in Halo. And he was like, what is Halo? And she was like, oh, dude, it's got these guys called the Covenant, and they're all Cenobites.
Oh, yeah. Which is, of course, one of a monastic order.
Yeah. Yep.
Terry contacts Joey. She gets, I guess, her card from JP and agrees to talk to her if Joey would give her a place to stay. Terry has broken up with JP, and she comes to stay with Joey for a bit. Terry is played by Paula Marshall. She was in Warlock, the Armageddon in 1993. She is in the 2003 Cheaper by the Dozen film.
Wow.
With what, Steve Martin?
Uh-huh. And what is that, Lindsay Lohan, I think?
I think she's one of the kids in it. I have not seen that movie. So.
Or maybe it's Duff.
Maybe it's Duff.
It's somebody like that.
Yeah. It is Duff, because what's funny is that she also, Paula Marshall, was in I Know Who Killed Me, which was a 2007 thriller starring Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, okay.
That's the one where like she dies, but then she's like a ghost and has to solve her own murder.
Yeah.
And then she's also in Malignant in 2021.
Oh, God.
She plays Beverly.
What? That's her?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. I didn't put it together. Terry asks Joey about her dreams. We have a very big... There are some major motifs in this film, like themes that go through the whole thing. One of them is war, because we see both Joey's father having died in Vietnam and her looking for the answers to that, as well as, Pinhead's original human form of Elliot Spencer, being he was in the army in World War I.
Yeah.
And then we have the other really big theme that kind of runs through the movie is about dreams, because she has this reoccurring nightmare throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Terry in this moment is like, it's so awesome that like you have dreams that you can remember them, because I never dream.
Yeah. She goes, and I never dream.
Pretty much. And the other key thing about Terry in this moment is that they smoke cigarettes together. Dreams and cigarettes. Those are Terry's thing.
I remember my dreams, and I do smoke cigarettes. So I'm like them mashed together.
Yeah. Yeah. I like
but
Terry.
A man.
Yeah. I like Terry in this. I think she's like looking for a place in the world.
Yeah. She reminds me, I mean, it's like a kind of a trope. Like, I have gone one direction for so long that ended up being the wrong direction to go in, that now I need help turning around.
Yeah. And she sees like a woman who is like successful, a little older from her, a little older than her, but like has this nice apartment and this job. And
and Terry makes her laugh. And, I think she looks up to her as like, a safety net, something that can keep moving forward.
Yeah.
I like their relationship. I like both of their performances when they're in scenes together. They have good chemistry together.
Yeah. Terry goes on to explain that because she was with the club goer the night that, he got all the hooks and chains in his face before it exploded.
Shame. Damn shame. If my face and head was going to explode, I'd rather skip the chains element.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to just scanners myself out of this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll work on that.
I'm doing it now.
Oh, God.
We're sorry. The podcast that you were just listening to has been interrupted because co-host Bean Rocco if you're nasty, his head just exploded.
Yeah. He scannered himself.
He scanners himself.
But yeah, she tells Joey about the where the chains came from out of this puzzle box, and that they were like out in the alley and they sprang out of the box, but he must have taken that. He must have pried it from the pillar. Terry, I guess, had then collected it after that whole scene because she takes the puzzle box out of her bag and gives it to Joey. But this kind of leads into them exploring where that came from and what it all means.
Yeah, which is it's a good way to reintroduce this prop. The prop is necessary. You need it for every one of these movies, but it's a cool way to do that of like, oh yeah, no, it was sealed in this statue. I think he just pried it off. Here it is. Mm-hmm. I stole it because I was interested in it. It's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a tight way to, it's a tight storytelling beat in a script that is loose as hell.
Right. But it leads us back to J.P. Monroe, who's played by Kevin Bernhardt. He is, before this, most famous for being in 376 episodes of General Hospital.
Okay.
He is in the 87 crime drama Kick or Die. He is in
Which one does he do?
I don't know yet. Okay. We'll have to figure that out.
That's gonna be our palate cleanser.
Yeah.
What is it? Kick or Die?
Kick or Die.
That's crazy. I have so many questions.
Those are your two options, man.
Okay.
He was in an action movie in 88 called Counterforce and a sci-fi horror film from 93 called Dark Dreams. But he is he's looking at the pillar and he notices this hole. And so he puts his hand in there to, I don't know, check it out.
Yeah.
And then a rat bites his hand.
Yeah.
And he pulls it out and like flings it off of him. But then his blood like sprays onto the pillar.
Uh-huh. And much like Frank, slurping down Larry's blood in the first Hellraiser movie, or Julia slurping down crazy psycho bug man's blood, all it takes is a little splash of blood and Pinhead is fully erect.
Yes.
He is hard as the rock that made this pillar. He's horny as hell, and he's trying to drink a lady.
Right.
We just don't know that yet.
One, I will say, a lot of the events in this movie play out very similarly to, in a broad sense, what the events of the first two films are.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I like
it has and
it's broad enough that it's like you can make the comparison, but it's like we're not actually replaying the hits.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, the bigger question this brings me to with this pillar and all the blood like draining down and then being, slurped by Pinhead. Why does he have the pillar installed in his room upside down? He saw it the correct way on display in the art gallery in the opening scene. So he had it shipped to his house and then put it up upside down.
So that Pinhead's face. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Because like in the next scene, once he moves it into his bedroom, because right now it's like in the club restaurant that he owns.
Right.
And it's upside down. And then once this happens and he's bled on it, then he moves it into his bedroom, his private room. But it's the correct way at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my assumption is that there isn't a plot reason because it's probably like a shooting continuity error.
Yeah.
But outside of that, maybe he tried to fuck Pinhead's sculpture's mouth, was unable to do so, and went, fuck it. I'm just going to flip it around.
Yeah, I want to make out with this guy instead, so I'll put him at head height.
He went, what? No head? And then he threw the lament configuration on the ground so hard that the engineer came out of it and slashed him.
Wow.
But he survived.
Uh-huh.
Now, he has this really gross misogynistic habit where he kind of saunters around like an asshole and gives roses to women at his bar that he wants to take upstairs to his dirty, dilapidated warehouse barn bedroom and bang them.
Yeah.
So he does.
He does that with Sandy.
Sandy's dumber than rocks.
She is one of the worst actresses I've ever seen or heard.
But so, okay, follow me here. It is so bad that it is almost not a performance.
Right.
It is so bad that it is like if a professional actor were to be told, pretend like you don't know how to act.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So the thing is that this girl is supposed to play a stupid, like, right out of college woman.
Right.
Who doesn't have all she is pretty. And her character's purpose is to have sex with this man. So it does kind of fit the story better that she's bad. Because if she was like a really good performer and like you really cared and were nuanced about this fucking random woman, it wouldn't punch as hard. But it's the fact that she's just kind of stupid and they discard her like garbage.
Like she's
like,
nothing.
Yeah, it makes it more sinister in my opinion.
Okay. I'll bite at that apple.
That also might just be that I really want to like as many movies in this franchise as possible until that's no longer an option.
I have that same thought with a lot of this. I think that's why I'm far more lenient on this movie than I should be.
Yeah, big time.
But while they're having sex in front of this statue,
and they clearly couldn't figure out a way to censor her breasts.
So yeah, that was she didn't want to be topless. She didn't want to appear topless. And so
for this movie, yeah, I get that.
Their fix for that was to just have his hands be on her breasts for the whole scene.
I like to imagine that the actor that played JP suggested doing that.
Yes.
They're like, well, how do we cover your breasts? I'm sorry. We might just need them out. We're going to need you to sign the waiver. And he's like, guys, I got an idea.
Who's got two fists?
My name is Tommy Tits. I got big tits. She's got tits. So I'm going to put my hands over her tits.
Yeah. As long as somebody gets them out, right?
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, so he bangs her.
Yeah.
In a very graphic sex scene.
Yeah. But I mean,
they switch up positions and shit. And at one point he turns and he's like, let me look at the Kama Sutra. And he just flips through like a bird book. And he's like, ducks. God, it's like 80 pages on ducks.
Yeah.
Sitting ducks. That's interesting.
Not much to say about Sandy's actor, Amy Lee.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. She hasn't done a lot of work outside of this. She's done some voice acting, though, in the strangest of places. There is a 2005 video game called Predator Concrete Jungle.
Yeah.
And she did the vocal elements for the Predator.
Oh, that's cool.
And even stranger than that, there is then a 2013 video game called Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
And she does the sounds for the xenomorphs.
So she's just very good at alien noises.
Yeah.
So they had her play somebody who gets fucked and then statue eaten. Because shortly after, she gets murdered.
Yeah. They have a fight.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw her out. But then whenever they argue, some chains and some hooks latch onto her.
Yeah.
Rip off her skin.
Like a glove.
Yeah. And then she is absorbed into the pillar.
Her face now appearing in like paroxysms of grief in the pillar, which is cool.
Yeah,
anytime something like that happens, it's like the Dorian Gray painting, seeing it get more injured and dated. It's like, I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it lends itself to like the history of this pillar and the other forms that we see there.
Right.
It's also, we get like you said, we're playing the hits, but we're doing it a little differently, a little more broad. So we get the skinless, figure like we have in the previous two films.
Yeah.
Apparently the skinless incarnation of Sandy was played by a heavily made up Paula Marshall who plays Terry. And then Lee provides the voiceover screams for that, few shots that we see there.
Okay.
And the effect of skinning her was achieved through early use of computer-generated special effects, which was the first time it was used in a horror film.
Okay.
Was in this. This is where our clip comes in. Pinhead pointing out that, they had both used Sandy for their own purposes.
Yeah, which is, again, kind of fucked up.
Oh, really fucked up. And Monroe goes from being horrified and pulls a gun and is going to use that to shoot this stone pillar where a man is talking to him. And then turns it around and says that, he agrees with Pinhead that he'll bring more people in there so that Pinhead can feed on them and be freed.
Yeah.
And then Pinhead promises him power.
It's very much like the Peter Pettigrew Voldemort situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other stylistic thing that I assume you noticed in this is the huge use of split diopter shots in this movie.
Yeah, and
all over,
but they don't look good.
They're fine.
Yeah,
they're just there.
Yeah,
but there are so many of the pillar in the background, and somebody's face being in the foreground, or the pillar in the foreground and JP in the background, the puzzle box in the foreground, all sorts of shots.
Yeah, big time.
Joey and Terry break into the art gallery. They find, because basically it's one of these like mystery places where they try to get in, it's locked, and then some rando on the street with a dog is like, that place is never open. I know, I've lived here forever.
Yeah. So go on into what is my home. And
so they break into it and they find these documents that say that the pillar was acquired from the, I guess, closed down Chenard Institute. Joey invites Terry to kind of stay with her so that they can kind of figure this out. But also I think it's, it's their kind of friendship and relationship kind of budding there of like Joey seeing something in Terry and being like, yeah, I'd like to help this girl.
Yeah. Which is nice. The dynamic of let me take the orphan under the wing is always going to be to some degree a positive if it's done with even the slightest bit of care.
Yeah, absolutely. She gets a little help from her cameraman, Doc.
She gets by with a little help from her Doc.
Yes. So she's able to get this videotape from the Chenard Institute video archives of Kirsty Cotton. This is our little cameo of Kirsty from the previous two films. She's on this, clearly shot on like VHS tape. And she explains it's almost like not an interrogation necessarily.
Kind of.
But like, it kind of looks like one.
Yeah. And she says right from the jump, like, I know who you people are. I know what you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me go. And then they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And she goes on to explain kind of the little that she understands about the box and how the puzzle box is the only way to kind of send Pinhead back to hell.
Which is funny because you would think that's where he wants to be.
Right.
The first two movies have set him up to be like, oh no, that's my house.
Yes, but I think that kind of gets answered with
the split.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the video kind of glitches here and we get to see Captain Elliot Spencer on the TV and just telling Joey that what Kirsty has said is true. And, it's kind of that thing of like, what am I witnessing here? Is this real? Am I having a dream? We're playing with that sort of logic. Terry is kind of, she seems to be drawn to the puzzle box and she's just kind of fiddling with it. And we get kind of a little fake out of like, oh, she's gonna, this is going to be our introduction. Yeah. And then she gets a phone call from JP, who tries to get her to come back to him at the club. She initially is like, no, but she then hears after she hangs up with him, the phone rings again and she hears a voicemail left by someone telling Joey that she had gotten a job in another city.
Milwaukee, I think.
Yeah. And so
it's like enjoy, or maybe, I think it's like Santa Monica. Yeah. But that's like a sticky note, like because she leaves a sticky note after she hears the voicemail because she's pissed, which I can understand. I wish they had fleshed her backstory out just a bit more. Yeah. But it doesn't hurt the movie at all. And I like the idea of like, I've come to rely on you and you're leaving me here. Yeah. It'd be like if Harry Potter, who's kind of being raised by the Weasleys. Right. If he was like, you know what, guys, I feel like maybe I was assigned the wrong gender at birth and maybe that's not what I need to identify with. And Mrs. Weasley was like, well, I'm a J.K. Rowling stand-in, and so you disgust me. Wow. And then she blows off Harry Potter's legs with a spell because she's viciously violent and wants to do violent things to people that are different, right? Like, just as an example. It'd be kind of like that. Right. Or if, say, a very wealthy, like, financier owned an island and a bunch of horrible people did a bunch of horrible things to kids and like teenagers on that island. And there's a list of them that you and I have documented painstakingly throughout the episodes of this podcast. And now it's just apparently no one cares anymore. Right. Right. But the Strait of Hormuz or the Strait of Hellraiser
is open. No,
it's not open. It's a Cenobite. And the Cenobite, the special part of that, it's oil, baby.
This kind of, I guess, like a misunderstanding with the voicemail and the sticky notes and all that. Yeah. Terry thinks that, Joey is abandoning her, so she like trashes Joey's apartment. We don't see this, but we do see the aftermath of it. And then she goes back to the boiler room to JP.
The apartment trashing reminded me so much of the episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they want to start a band. And so they're like, this isn't rock and roll. We need to go do something rock and roll. I don't know. Let's go like trash a hotel room. And they tear this hotel room. It's Mac, Charlie, and Frank. And they tear this hotel room apart. And Frank's like, I can't believe you got this room without a credit card. And Mac's like, we had a credit card. I stole it from you, you bitch. And he's like, my credit card's on the desk. That's all I can think of the whole time. Anything in the world to think about Danny DeVito, and I will gladly do that.
Right, that makes sense.
He's the best of us.
He truly is. JP Monroe, basically, very quickly is like, "Hey, come in here, babe. I'm gonna feed you to this pillar." But she kind of overpowers him and knocks him out.
Yes. And then I'm so confused by what these instruments are. What are the pumpy things?
The pumpy things. Oh, okay. So yeah, she knocks him down and then she goes to leave. And before she can leave, Pinhead is just like, wait. Except he doesn't extend his arm because he is still stuck in a pillar. He is just a talking head.
You didn't have to clarify. They didn't see you do that.
They imagined it. They imagined it.
Pinhead is just stuck in this fucking thing. He's basically just shoulders and a head. And he's like, wait, no, don't leave. It's like, if you leave, I'm fucked.
Basically. And then he like talks her into this whole idea of kind of the same deal he was making for Monroe of just like, you help me and I'll give you whatever you want.
Yeah, it's sort of a talking her into like a murder-suicide type thing.
Yeah.
We then later find out because she becomes the cigarette one.
Yeah.
Because remember, she smoked a cigarette in this movie.
But she also wants to dream, which is what Pinhead promises her, that she will be able to dream to, whatever, her heart's desire.
It's another thing that comes off as kind of overly ambitious for this movie of tackling like, yeah, all this woman wants is to dream. It's like, no, she wants to fucking smoke cigarettes and fuck this dude in the nightclub. Like, you could just make that she's a hedonist. You don't have to make it that she loves dreams.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know. It's Pinhead having this, he is corrupting people. Like the people that we've seen in the last two movies who end up kind of as the kind of minions and the bad guys of this are like, they were bad people from the start. And like Terry is like on a bad path, but like trying to maybe better herself and then is like dragged back into it for the wrong reasons.
It's a sort of Wilson Fisk of it all where he's like, he kind of targets people and preys on their weaknesses, but then offers them answers so that they would do unimaginable things now for him. Really a sort of Kingpin head situation.
Wow. You
clap.
You really clap for me. Went out of your way for that one, sir.
Yeah, I reached.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
But yeah, she feeds Monroe to Pinhead, and he is rebirthed into the world because I guess all it took was like 2 people. And he could just come right out of the pillar.
I'm like a squirt from Monroe.
Yeah.
That's like 2.5 men.
Right.
But 1 lady.
We'll jump back to Joey has another one of her reoccurring dad dreams from Vietnam.
Yep.
And we see Captain Spencer contacts her asking for her help. And so she like seemingly wakes up in her apartment and then goes down and opens up the curtains to this like her, floor to ceiling windows of her apartment. And on the other side, we see Spencer in his barracks with the puzzle box from the opening of Hellbound. And she steps through the glass into that, which we come to find out is limbo. But they then
It reminds me of the apartment, the geography of Joey's apartment, because it's huge.
Yes.
But like the living room and the doors and whatnot specifically, it kind of reminds me of the apartment of the friend in Candyman 2. Where like the police come and investigate. It reminds me a lot of that. Just the way the natural light pours in, the way the ceiling looks.
Yeah.
Hey, man, there are cool apartments if you can. Like, that's the thing about this movie is that no matter how it was shot, no matter how professionally, it's like it uses its scenery very well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it has some cool little set pieces here and there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I think this kind of playing with time and playing with location and her kind of stepping through. She has this quote, I just walked into madness for you.
That's pretty cool.
Whenever like she goes through and she's like trying to talk to him and he's just sitting there completely. It's like he doesn't hear her at all. And then a doorway opens and she walks out and they flash back into the trenches of World War I. And so this is where we really get kind of our backstory with, or at least parts of our backstory of, Pinhead when he was human.
Yeah.
Now, this scene is interesting because someone that I work with currently,
Okay.
named Scott,
Shout out Scott.
I'm sure he's not listening, but if he happens to be, he worked on this film. He was an assistant location scout, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
On both this and Children of the Corn 2. But he also was in this like flashback, this World War I, the trenches scene. He's one of the soldiers in the trenches. And I asked him, I was like, can you like, do you remember where you were? Can you see yourself in this? And he was like, you don't ever really get a shot of my face in this one. But like if I was watching, I could point myself out to you.
That's really cool.
So, and part of that reason, like that those two are tied in, both this film and Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice, they were shot back to back using a lot of the same crew to save money. So
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, that was an interesting little tie-in there.
Yeah.
But in this, Captain Elliot Spencer, he explains his experiences were with World War I, causing him to kind of lose his faith in God, in humanity, in what have you. And so he sought out the kind of forbidden pleasures that were then promised by the puzzle box, and in doing so becomes Pinhead. We get a flashback of that scene from the opening of Hellbound where he becomes Pinhead. We see that process very quickly. And Kirsty kind of gave him at the end of Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, Kirsty giving him kind of the revelation of his former life, his former humanity, I guess caused Pinhead to split into two different entities in this way.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it's basically they were... It's a Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, it's
well, actually not even
id and the
ego working together. But the thing is that once they've split, now Elliot is pure and non-hedonistic, is not tempted by these things,
right? But also stuck in limbo,
right?
And Pinhead was trapped in the Pillar of Souls, and now he's not. But Spencer also tells Joey here that without like his humanity, without them being together,
right,
to balance out with the humanity, Pinhead is like completely evil.
Yeah.
And he's just going to wreak havoc on Earth, which is, I think, what we were talking about before, where it's like in the past two films, it's like hell is his domain, but it's like now he is completely separated. He's just evil, just running off of chaos. And like, I want to go somewhere where I can just slaughter.
I want to go where everybody is terrified of my name.
Yeah.
It is the temptations and the things that make Pinhead so offensive and so needing to be cajoled by the other half that is like, well, no, but we have a purpose. We only go after those who are summoned us by temptation, except for when the story calls for it.
They have like their own laws, their own rules.
Right. But without Elliot, the human in the carcass, basically Pinhead's entire thing is I'm going to destroy the puzzle box because it is the only thing that can send me back to hell. And then I'm going to destroy humanity.
Yes.
I'm going to torture you all into a place beyond madness.
Yes. Which that's a good point because he also Spencer also explains that he can't just take the box by himself. It has to be given to him willfully,
right?
Which plays into the end.
Because I told you in Hellraiser 1, these are fucking vampire stories. He can't, Pinhead can't have it.
Yeah.
He has to be given it. There has to be an acquiescence for him.
He has to be
it.
welcomed in.
I'm just saying, they're vampire stories.
And that Joey must reunite Spencer's spirit and Pinhead's spirit and then use the puzzle box to send them back to hell is the whole, we just lay out the game plan for the finale. But now that Pinhead is free from that pillar, he massacres the entirety of the club. This
is the funniest thing ever. And the movie handles it as best as the movie can handle it. There are journalists that are like, we don't know what the fuck's going on, but there's blood leaking out from under the door. They just brought a body out here. That body was absolutely fucked. We don't know what happened. He's missing eyes. His teeth were on a necklace.
The amount of gags that are done in this whole scene is it's wild. It approaches Gremlins level of just they just have some zany fun here.
It is sex pervert. Well, the Gremlins are also sex perverts.
What?
Dude, I'm not going over this with you. As I look up at your pop vinyl wall and see Flasher Gremlin.
Yeah.
But
Freddy
Krueger's up there. So is Black Phillip.
Well, yeah, they are. Greta is what I was going for.
Oh, okay. Also sex pervert. But then so is what's his name? I think that might actually have been sort of misogynistic of me because Greta's fine.
Okay, good.
Greta the Gremlin is fine. She's a strong, independent Gremlin woman. She doesn't need no man. Well, somebody should tell Picardo because he was the one that was like, I'm gonna fuck this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Boo.
There was a guy impaled by a pool cue, who apparently, speaking of Gremlins, man, I don't know how we did this. Zach Galligan, who is the lead of Gremlins and Gremlins 2,
Billy Peltzer,
apparently is that guy impaled by that pool cue.
What?
He was in Waxwork and Waxwork 2, which were directed by Anthony Hickox before this. So he had him in as a quick cameo.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah. There's a woman who is killed by an ice spike. There was a lot of that early, that Michael Jackson video had recently come out where the faces morph and stuff. So it was a lot of that early morphing, computer morphing, animation stuff. The bartender, he gets wrapped up in chains. The DJ is killed by a bunch of CDs. You got chains coming out of the pool table pockets. Just a lot of gags, a lot of bits. All the doors, it's very Carrie, where all the doors keep slamming shut and people are rushing to get out and everything. And then we cut to the other side of the door and it's just blood just seeping under and we don't actually get to see anything. We're just hearing the screams.
It's at first it's a little bit of blood and then it is kind of a torrent of it.
The DJ apparently is played by Brent Bolthouse, who is also in Waxwork 2 and Warlock the Armageddon. That will, come up again later. But the hearing and seeing the news report on TV, Joey decides to go to the club to investigate.
She calls Doc and she's like, hey, can you meet me? And he's like, I'm closer. I'm just going to go there now.
Right. And this plays into this other kind of theme that goes through this movie where, she's like, hey, turn on your TV. Are you seeing this? And she's like, he asks where, what channel? And she's like, it's on 12. And so he flips through and we see him and he is on the channel and he's not seeing the news report.
Right.
And so she's like, yeah, no, it's awful. I'm going to go down there. Yeah, I'll see you there. And there is, there's a couple things here. You see when he's flipping through the channels, you see the director, Anthony Hickox, with a lower third graphic that says his name, like he was being interviewed or something. And then the other thing is I think it's one of the Waxwork movies is playing on the TV.
But that's what I'm saying is that, so the Waxwork movie is playing on the TV. This feels like a fake. And that's exactly what I meant from the top of this episode is this one feels like the fake movie that they made to play in the background of other movies.
But he gets up to leave and then we cut back to Joey as she's leaving. She grabs the box to take with her, but we're shown that the TV is not plugged in.
Right.
And so it is, and I think it's the second example. Earlier, there was, I think it's whenever she's in the dream and before she steps through to talk to Spencer, there's like an old timey radio that's in her closet for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's a closet that we saw opened by Terry earlier, who was like just looking around the apartment, and she opens it up. So we've seen what's in there, and that radio is not in there, but it is during this section. And it plays, but it's not it's not plugged in any way.
Yeah, it plays an FDR fireside chat.
Yeah. And so it's kind of this theme of like technology kind of corrupting a situation, and like taking advantage, being used to take advantage of Joey in these things and kind of drive her to different situations. And that plays into the Cenobites and how they're built, because it's so much of the Cenobites are in this film technology grafted into human flesh.
Yeah. I mean, you got JP Monroe is the weird, like,
yeah.
I'm going to assume that those are like fuck machines.
Yeah, I don't know exactly
Like
what these
pumps.
piston things are, but yeah.
What you do is you take a big fake rubber penis. You stick it on the ends of one of those.
Okay.
Line it up with your butt.
Right.
Click the button. And off you go.
And you feel good?
You feel great. You feel so great that you got to call your girlfriend over. And she takes her fingers, which are cigarettes, and you take a couple drags off of them.
Okay. That's good. Joey makes it to the club and finds it full of dead bodies.
Yeah, it is the thing of like, she walks in. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Dario Argento's Inferno, when the main character's like very good friend from college collapses dead in front of him, and he's like, huh. Well, anyway, and he just like fucking walks off and doesn't care. It's like all of these people are dead. Their faces horribly fucking scarred and shit.
They're posed in the most horrific ways.
And she's just walking and like, oh my God, that's crazy. And it's like, you need to be like huffing a garbage bag to hyperventilate.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Also, like, she gets there and she doesn't put together that like all those film crews and ambulances and aren't outside. The only thing she finds is Doc's, company truck.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing she finds is she goes into a room and of the club. And the whole thing is filled with two things, almost like monastery candles.
Yeah.
Just like hundreds of candles all lined up. And then the whole room is surrounded. The entire wall is got laying or sitting corpses that have all just been shredded.
Yeah.
And then Pinhead walks out. Oh, by the way, I think it's important to note, Pinhead laughs a lot in this movie.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
And his laugh, it reminds me so much of Freddy Krueger's.
Yes.
It's like, and Freddy's is like,
wow, that was a good Freddy.
Like, hey, I'm Freddy Krueger. Look at my knife hand.
But Pinhead comes out. She does all you see. Right before she sees Doc, his head has been removed and he's holding it in his hands in his lap.
And his head is now the camera.
Right.
Right.
And then Pinhead comes out and is basically like, give me the box.
Gives me that.
She's like, no.
He's like, fuck.
It's like my one weakness.
Like, how did you know that I couldn't take it from you for some reason?
Like, well, your other half, your
now,
ball and chain told me.
If Pinhead is standing on the beach and it's going to be kind of rainy.
Okay.
And he holds his hand out and the puzzle box falls into his hand.
Right.
Is he allowed to keep it? Because he's not a human.
But it wasn't given to him.
No.
Specifically. Like if somebody else was like walking with it and tripped and it flew out of their hand and into his.
Yeah.
Can he keep it? See, I thought you were going to say if he was standing on the beach alone and it falls into his hand, does it make a sound? I thought you were doing that bit.
No, I was, it's just as silly, but it's not as predictable.
Yeah. I don't know. But possession is 9/10
of the law.
Of the law. Yeah. She escapes and we get this like chase and this rampage through the streets. This is where they obviously spent a lot of money during the like Miramax is like, here's more money. Do it up more. I love this first kind of shot because as she's running through the streets of New York City, and like all sorts of, you know, weird shit starts happening. There's a bunch of other bits here. Pinhead resurrects several of the victims as Cenobites. So Doc is turned into the camera head Cenobite. He has a camera now embedded in his head with one of the lenses coming out of his eye.
Yeah, which would be horribly uncomfortable.
Right. You have the DJ who is got CDs embedded in his head, and he throws CDs as weapons,
which is crazy.
You have Rick the barman who has been wrapped in the barbed wire and who breathes fire.
Yeah,
he's the Barbie Cenobite.
That skill you think would be very effective for him.
And it's the kind of in some of the, you know, later Freddy movies where it's like, oh, well, this character has one defining detail about them. Okay, well, that's what their fears are based on. Yeah. That's what their dreams are based on. The same thing sort of happens here where anytime we're introduced to a small character, the barman, the first time he turns around, he's serving one of those, you know, alcoholic drinks where you light the top of it on fire.
Yeah.
So he has a alcohol shaker and he breathes fire at people.
I'm telling you, your Cenobite would be something to do with the A list AMC movie club pass.
Right. Yeah.
And mine would be somehow I would either look like, or my hands would look like, whatever, a pack of Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all the Cenobites here are kind of fused with technology. It's very similar to, and we've talked about this movie before, Tetsuo, the Iron Man.
Right.
It's a Japanese sci-fi horror film. We talked about it with the motorcycle death scene in Nightmare on Elm Street. The Dream Child? Is that Dream Child?
I think so.
But yeah, they are kind of chasing her. Joey flees through these streets and, you know, lots of explosions, lots of practical effects. Fire hydrants are bursting. Cars are spinning out all over.
Yeah, it's my favorite part because it's almost like a zombie thing.
Yeah.
They're just like slowly following. I like that.
I love in the first kind of big reveal shot of her running into the streets and the camera is like on a crane. It cranes up. There's these two guys who are walking down the sidewalk on the left-hand side of the street. And it almost seems like they were just out for a walk, didn't realize that a film set was happening, because then the explosions start going off on the other side of the street and then they just bolt away.
Like, oh, fuck.
But
the gas leak's back.
But you know, chains are whipping out of like storm drains. Power lines are electrifying the water that's spilled out. Manhole covers are flying around. It's a whole lot of fun. But some cops pull up and the Cenobites just kill them very easily.
Yeah.
As Joey kind of runs into this church, and then we get the Black Mass church scene.
It's so cool.
It's very cool.
Pinhead threatens them. They threaten Pinhead. They're like, why aren't you burning? And he's like, bitch, I don't give a shit. And he walks up and there's holy water. And he basically is like, he walks out into this church where she has sheltered herself. And it's weird because I almost expected the priest from Candyman 2 to be there. And I don't know why, just something about the facility. But he does so many fucking cool things in this church.
And it's really metal. Like not a long scene. But yeah, he does get a lot done in the time that he's in there. And I love it because whenever she first runs in and she's like, you know, they're after me. And the priest is like, who, my child? And she's like, the demons.
She's like the Cenobites. And he's like, oh, you're fucked. That's a monastic order.
I was asked to join one of those once and I was like, no.
I was like, sir, you're Catholic. You did do that.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God. The new Pope's American.
But I love his reaction of just like, oh no, you know, demons are not real. They're just metaphors. And then the doors just kick open and it looks like a music video. Mm-hmm. Like Pinhead waltzes in And she's just like, well, what is that?
It's the best line delivery of the entire movie. Doors kick open. Pinhead is standing there in the mist. And she just goes, well, then what the fuck is that? And it's like, yeah, it's a good question because Pinhead looks like a goddamn demon.
Yeah.
Angel to others.
Oh, it's a good pull. But yeah, Pinhead's like knocking shit over. And then he gets behind the altar and he pulls these pins out of his head.
Yes.
And they're like wrapped in
like brain worm.
Brain worm is it's a good
it's
word
like if
for
his
it.
brain tissue grew worms.
Yeah. Yeah, which maybe it does. And then he stabs
I was going to do
those.
a Robert F. Kennedy impression.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to change my mind and not do that. Please continue.
And then he stabs those into his hands and he poses a la Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which immediately everybody in the hallway, their attention turns straight to him.
And he's like, I am the way. And then he like nearly kills the priest because the priest, approaches and is like, he's upset about it.
Well, yeah, of
about
course
the
he
blasphemy,
is. Of course he is.
doesn't like it.
Nobody does.
Jesus is like his guy.
Yeah, and he's holding like a silver.
Oh yeah, he's holding up the cross, and then Pinhead
is straight up like, watch this, and melts it in a liquid, and it like seals his hands together.
Yeah, it's metal AF.
And then he doesn't stop. By the way,
no,
I would stop at that point. I'd be like, all right, man, my bad.
You've had enough.
Yeah,
but no,
you broke both of my arms and gave me like $300 worth of, some sort of reconciliation. But no, not me. I was a priest my whole life. I just tried to help people, and you melted a crucifix into my hands. I wanted the priest to be like, also, why are you here? He doesn't know.
No, he has no explanation for what has entered his church, destroyed most everything in here, sealed his hands in metal, and then is going to kill him.
My favorite part after this is Pinhead kind of delivers a speech at the pulpit of this church, and I think he says it was the tagline of the summary, but he says something to the effect of like, I am the light, or like, I am the way.
I am the way, yeah.
And he has his arms out like Christ, tilts his head to the right and laughs like a maniac, and all the windows explode.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking cool.
Right as he is about to kill the priest, Joey kind of gets his attention again with the puzzle box and gets him to chase her out. And then we move to our like finale where Joey ends up on a construction yard. And Terry and JP are then revealed to be Cenobites. Terry is the dreamer Cenobite, and she has a cigarette embedded in her throat.
It looks like she has cigarettes for fingers.
Oh, she might.
Yeah.
I hope she does. And then JP has this piece of machinery. He is referred to as the piston head Cenobite, but they're just kind of pumping through his head. And he seems just fine about it. And they kind of trap Joey, and they're preparing to kind of torture her. But then she solves the puzzle box, and all the Cenobites that have now kind of surrounded her, including Pinhead, in the middle of this construction yard. And they're all kind of sent back to hell. They're sucked into the box.
Which, I mean, that sounds like a great time. Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays, so you could just go get sucked by the box. I'm so sorry.
The box also transports Joey into limbo.
Yeah.
And she is like in her kind of Vietnam dad dream again, but she comes face to face with her father.
And her dad's like, listen, you did good work, kid. Now give me that thing.
Yeah.
She's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure.
Like, okay, well, you don't even know what this is.
So she hands it to him.
But he's like, oh yeah, there's something that you're supposed to give me.
He references a they. He's like, yeah, they said that you'd have something for me.
And so she's like,
are you talking
okay.
about my butt? Sorry, Dad. Everybody's been a sex creep.
And so I guess the only thing she has to offer is the box. The puzzle box.
Yeah,
I should specify.
I expected him to say, "Come to daddy."
Yes, that is referenced earlier.
Yes.
Whenever JP is trying to get Terry to come over.
He says
to the pillar.
He says, "Come to daddy." That's how he talks. Yeah. They don't know. They're not going to watch this.
No.
He's Swedish. He goes, "Come to daddy. I'm JP Monroe."
Yeah, he did that.
It's a flawless Swedish accent, by the way.
It's true. So she hands over the box.
Yeah.
But then in doing so also realizes of like, how would you, my father who died before I was born, know my name?
Yeah, and instead of assuming that it's just some ethereal heaven shit because she's been fighting literal demons for an hour, she goes, "That's suspicious." And
then he doesn't like hold off for very long. He just turns to the Pinhead.
To quote Tom Segura, lie for longer. Because he doesn't. He's just like, she's like, "Wait, what?" And he goes, "Ah, fuck." And then he melts away.
But he's got the box, so I guess he's done the thing he needs.
Grabs it and he's rattling it at her, and he's like, "Ah, and she's like, "You bastard."
And he threatens her, and then they are transported to Limbo, where Captain Spencer, like in his barracks again.
Yes.
And they are kind of not physically fighting, but like arguing their points out in a way. Pinhead kind of like ensnares Joey.
It's so bizarre because it's like he puts her in like a leather bodice and like metal locks and stuff, and it like for the first time in one of these Hellraiser movies, it's like, well, that's kind of hot.
Yeah,
like I get it. Like, yeah, that's kind of hot. And then Elliot is like, keep in mind, the pure version of Pinhead's soul, the one without the perversions, is still just like, I mean, yeah, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
And Pinhead's like, "Yes, and all you have to do is get a bunch of nails in your head." And he's like, "Yeah, but that's where you lose me.
That's where I draw the line.
I don't want to do it." It's like, you're like, "Oh, let's go get lunch at Chipotle," and it's like, fine, and it's like, "But first you have to hit your nuts with a hammer." It's like, no, I don't.
Well, no, can't we just have burritos?
No.
What about a hot dog? With a big pickle on it.
Big pickle on it. Oh, God.
But I get it. It's pretty hot for a second.
For like a second.
And then there's like some bloody creature like crawls out of the dirt and is like, I don't know what's about to happen to her. I don't know if she's going to be killed or if she's going to be transformed into a Cenobite. I don't know what the point is.
The wormy thing reminded me of the worm in Dr. Chenard's head.
Okay.
So I thought maybe it had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was going to become a wormy guy.
A wormy little lady.
And they, they're having a discussion, if you will, over the soul of this girl, of this woman, and also like what we could do if we got out of here and just like did whatever we want on Earth.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, the argument ends with a terrible CGI effect. Yeah. As fucking Elliot Leroy Jenkins Pinhead, and is like, "I'm taking back over," and dives at him, and they like their heads fuse together.
Yeah.
It looks really bad.
It's very music video-ish of the time.
But again, that's an ambitious thing to do in a movie with this budget and with this scale.
Not to mention the whole acting of that scene. They had to shoot it with, Doug in full Pinhead, or probably the other way around. Probably did the Spencer stuff first, and then because he talks about it on the Blu-ray of like seeing someone else in the Pinhead costume for the first time and being like, "No, that's wrong. Like that's mine. You can't do that. Even just as a stand-in.
You made the costume. I'm coming."
Yeah, he did. It's
like, "Do you mean like you're like moving in this direction
here?"
And he's like, "Sure." It's like, oh God, look at his bands. Check again.
That's what I was hoping you were referencing. Yeah. But yeah, and then had to, shoot all of that, then go do the 3 hours to get set up in makeup, come back and shoot the other side of that to then react off of himself and another stand-in. But so it's interesting in that way. But yeah, they fuse and he then begs Joey to kill him. Mm-hmm. She has broken free, or in the tussle of that, she's let free of these chains, and she picks the box up and it has transformed into the dagger, Leviathan, diamond version of it. Yeah. And so she stabs Pinhead through the heart, and that sucks him into the cube, inside. He poltergeist houses into the cube.
Yes.
To reference a movie we haven't spoke of on this show.
Nope.
But people know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Sending him back to hell. Our quick epilogue: the box returns Joey to Earth, and she buries this the puzzle box in a pool of concrete on this construction site. Now, I want to point out
that's what happened to Lubden.
That it can't possibly be the same concrete that Lubden was, of course, buried in, because that was in L.A.
Yeah, Lubden's West Coast. Pinhead's East Coast, baby.
That's why they never met up to verses.
Lubden, Pinhead.
And then much later, we flash forward a bit, and the building, I guess, that was in this construction site has now been completed. And there's this awesome sculpture out front. It's a real sculpture. Couldn't tell you where it is because I didn't write it down. But
is it the giant reflective bean?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Made for you.
For me. And then there's another one that nobody's found yet, but there's another giant silver sculpture, and it's a topographical map of Morocco.
Wow.
Yes.
And then we just see business people going into this building, and all of the interior work is the lament configuration panels. I love the look of it.
Especially because they actually do something with that.
Yes.
Because the next movie actually does something with that. And I think that's brilliant. No, man, I'm telling you, because I want to get right to the recommendations. I recommend this movie. Mm-hmm. I with the expectations kind of tampered of this is a perfect microcosm of what happens to these franchises.
Yes.
Is that eventually you take the dip, you step into the next room, and it used to be an old carport that they've converted into a room.
Right.
So you take that step down. It is the thing of, the quality dips a little bit, but it was still creative people. It was still a vision. And it's not exactly the same tonally or quality wise.
But you have some familiar voices who had worked on the previous films.
Yeah.
Still writing the story, still, having a hand in it. Even Clive Barker, the little bit that he did.
This is very much like the Halloween 2.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween to Halloween 2, there is no, Hellraiser, or there's no Hellbound in between them. But John clearly didn't care about Halloween 2 as much as he did about Halloween 1. And you can tell Clive and people that are kind of pivotal to these movies didn't love or care for this as much as they loved and cared for the original. But man, there's a point where I think if something connects with me enough or something was made in a way that's fun enough, I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. It gets a little boring in the third act because they're all just kind of walking and talking.
That is what I found is there are some places in this movie where it drags, and I mean it's the thing that we said about the first two is once the story really kicks in, it has a quick setup and then the story just goes.
Yeah.
This movie is not any longer. I think all three of these movies have been 93 minutes apiece.
Just about.
But the story beats just take a bit more, and you're just kind of there's a couple parts where it's just okay, can we move on? I get it. Can we? I don't know what, but it just drags for a couple times in this.
It's a lot of it too is when the Black Mass happens and she goes back into the club. It's you're focusing on the things we've already seen.
Yeah, it's There's some repetition there. There's
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, because we've already kind of discussed this. Speaking of repetition, here's my question to you.
Oh, I do recommend, by the way.
That was my question.
Oh.
You didn't let me ask.
I recommend, by the way.
Okay, no, that actually isn't my question. You were right to ignore that. Everything I say is a bit. Here, so of the 4 new Cenobites, 5, Doc, Camera Head,
right,
CD Head, Booze Man, Cigaretta, and Piston McBitch. Of those 5, who do you like the best?
Personally,
because remember, Pinhead even says it. They're nothing like his OGs.
Yeah,
but they'll do.
That is the missing. Like, I like all the craziness of all these new Cenobites, but the fact that we don't really get any of the others.
Yeah, they're waiting.
There's like in the credits and things like that. Apparently, in the massacre scene, the Chatterer's body is somewhere in there, but I've yet to spot it.
Yeah.
And I would know because he's my favorite. Those little Squidward teeth. I don't know. I like. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
I like Doc with the camera head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like we get to really see like any sort of special power that he gets because like the CD guy is like whipping CDs around, and then the Barbie guy is like breathing fire and.
Yeah, Doc can see far, I imagine.
Yeah. Does he? I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
Dude, what if the cigarette one could do like awesome vape tricks?
She probably can.
That's hot.
That does it for you?
Yeah, I like that. Oh, man. Yeah, it's funny. I guess I just didn't expect to like this one at all.
Yeah.
And it's funny because on the outset of it, it reminds me, to be earnest for a moment, this movie reminds me why we do this show. Because it's like, yeah, it's crappy. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's over the top. It's silly. It's all the things that you can kind of negatively remark on it. But we still liked it and fit a 2-hour conversation into it because it's like, yeah, no, it's just fun. These movies are fun.
Some merit. It's still fun.
And like pizza, even the worst horror is still, it's still horror.
Yeah.
Though I wonder, there has to be a pizza horror movie, right?
Probably.
Oh, dude, a pizza Cenobite.
Oh.
What's his thing?
I mean, that just makes me think of Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs.
Oh, God, is that a crossover? Is that an unintentional Clive Barker, Mel Brooks crossover?
Yeah.
Pizza the Hut. It's like, you opened the box. Well, no, but the box that he's talking about
is a pizza
box.
Yeah, I got it. I can envision it.
Yeah, and if you deliver the pizza box in under 30 minutes, then hell is free.
Thanks for tuning into the Third Channel podcast. Please, if you have the time, rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps.
You can follow us on social media at Third Channel Podcast, and you can find me online at @DRosenberg.
You can also reach out to us at thirdchannelpodcast@gmail.com, where we check every message we swear. Third Channel is hosted by PJ Minette
and Derek Rosenberg. Theme song and audio engineering by Fly Guy Ty.
The logo designed by Bell DeVelco.
Episode artwork by Nathan Walkington.
Keep it tuned right here to the Third Channel for all things horror. And remember, don't touch that dial.
Egg salad and eggs.